we have dealt few concepts. I have sent you a PowerPoint presentation regarding the causes of the world wars. I hope you all have gone through it. Am I right? Okay. So just try to imagine those causes once again. Think of it. If you have the book, keep in front of you, and then once you read those causes, just the name, the main concepts of those causes. Okay. So to reiterate, the important causes were aggressive nationalism, imperialism, secret alliances, militarism, and then we have Balkan politics. Right. Okay. So I have a question. The question is very simple. I just have this question out of my mind. Let us see how far you can think about it. Today, in present world, militarism is still there. India, for example, India, Pakistan, or China, or America, or Russia, take any country you want. They have strong militaries, right? So when the world knows that militarism can cause world wars, why do you think every country is maintaining its defense? Why do you think every country is maintaining its armies, navies, and air bases? Just a question from my mind. If you have the answer, please write it down and send it to me on WhatsApp later. Okay. But for now, for 1 second, you just think as to why do you think these things can happen? Why is there a need for the countries to maintain strong armies? Okay. All right. So let's move on. So you have seen certain causes. We have also understood the Balkan region. If you see, I have talked about two countries called Serbia and Austria, right? Okay. So there was a small incident which happened in Austria. Austrian prince at the time, his name was Archduke Franz Ferdinand. He was a prince from Austria, and he was visiting Serbia for sightseeing. And unfortunately, a group of assassins, a group of assassins from Bosnian Serbs, attacked and killed this prince of Austria. Very simple. Austrian prince was killed in Serbia by Bosnian group. Okay. Austrian prince Archduke Franz Ferdinand was killed in Serbia by a Bosnian group. For this, Austria asked for an explanation as to how it happened, and Serbia did not give the satisfactory reply to Austria, for which Austria declared war on Serbia on 28th July 1914. Okay, for now, let us forget the dates. Just the immediate cause. The immediate cause is just one line answer, one line understanding. Austrian prince called Archduke Franz Ferdinand was assassinated in Serbia, and this triggered the World War. Now, if you see in the slide, I have given you a pie chart which shows a triple alliance and triple entente. Serbia was on the side of Britain, so because of that, France-Russia alliance came in support of Serbia, whereas Germany was having a secret understanding with Austria, so Triple Alliance was in support of it. So what happened? A war between two countries became a war between two groups. So now you can understand the magnitude of the war, right? Okay. So the World War I started 1914 July 28. So this war went on for another 4 years. 4 long years the war went on. So World War One began in 1914. It ended in 1918. Let us not now get into details as to how the war went. We are only concerned with the war being started. Okay, so war went on 1914 to 1918. The war ended. So the war ended with a treaty. Now this treaty is called Treaty of Versailles. What is it called? Treaty of Versailles. I know most of you will not have textbooks, so I'll be giving you the spelling as well. Versailles. If you have the text, you can write it down. Versailles. Treaty of Versailles. Versailles is a place in France. Okay, so an agreement happened in France in the year 1919. This is what happened after the World War One. Now, as to who has actually won the war, the World War One. World War One, the winning powers were the Allied powers. That is, the Britain, France, Russia, and the Germans were the losers. Okay, I hope I'm clear with that so far. Okay, so Treaty of Versailles. So after the World War One, many discussions happened. Britain and its three allies. Allies means friends. What three friends? France, Russia, and then US. Even US tried to help Allied powers in support the war against the Germans. So they came to a treaty. They came to an understanding on the defeated powers. The first understanding is that in the map I have showed you uh, Ottoman Empire, right? You all know Austria and Hungarian empires. So those two should be broken up and new countries have to be formed. That's the broken up and democratic republic should be set up. And the Ottoman Empire, where the Balkan region was there, it was also broken up. And Republic of Turkey, a new country was formed. So what happened here? New countries came into existence. Now in the world map, present world map, if you see, there will be countries like Austria, Hungary, Yugoslavia. No more Yugoslavia now. Czech Republic, Slovakia, Estonia, Latvia, Finland. These are all the different countries that came into existence after the World War One. Okay, I hope you're all understanding what I'm trying to say, right? Okay, so Treaty of Versailles, very simple. It's an agreement between the winning powers and the losing powers. Who were the winning powers? Winning powers were Britain, France, Russia, and US. The losing powers were Germany, Austria, Hungary, and Germany, Austria, Hungary were the losing powers. So the difference between the winning powers and the losing powers is that they were forced to sign a treaty which is called Treaty of Versailles. I hope I'm clear so far. Okay. So according to this treaty, three things happen. First is Austro-Hungarian Empire. If I had the map, I would have shown you in a better way. I'll send you the map in the WhatsApp. Okay. So there are three empires at the time: Austro-Hungarian, which is nothing but Austria and Hungary countries; Ottoman Empire, which is Turkey; and the German Empire, which is called Germany. So all these three empires were broken up, and a democratic form of government was forced to set up. So Austro-Hungary got split up, Ottoman Empire got split up into small countries, Germany also got split up. So instead of all these, new countries came into existence. So Austro-Hungarian was one country, later became into two, Austria and Hungary. At the time, a new country was also formed, Yugoslavia. If you see, Mother Teresa was born in Yugoslavia. Then Czechoslovakia. Now, even this Czechoslovakia has changed into two, Czech Republic and Slovakia. Okay, and then we have Estonia, Latvia, and Finland. Now, one activity that you all need to do is find out these countries on world map. I'll be sending you these countries in the WhatsApp group. You need to locate them in the world map. Okay. So apart from these, there is another heavy penalty which was imposed on Germany. Why? Because British, France, and Russians, all these three countries felt that it was because of Germany that they had to fight the war. And they said Germany has to bear all the losses that their countries had. So for that, they asked Germany to pay war indemnity. War indemnity. What is war indemnity? Indemnity is compensation. So, for example, if you have taken a pen from your friend and you lost it, what do? You give back his money or buy him a new pen. Same way, Germany, because of Germany, the war happened and most of the countries faced loss. Treaty of Versailles said that the Germany has to pay war indemnity or compensation to the victorious powers. Now, how can they pay back? They have to give back the territories of France and other countries. Before the war, Germany occupied several territories of France, Britain, and other countries. So they have to give those all the territories back to the victory powers. I hope you have understood the Treaty of Versailles. I could do better explanation on the map, but as the map is not available, I'll be sending you the map in the WhatsApp group so that you can see. Very simple. The Treaty of Versailles, very important, very simple, but focus. Austro-Hungarian Empire was collapsed and it formed into two countries called Austria-Hungary. Ottoman Empire was broken up into small countries. One important country which came out of Ottoman Empire was Turkey. And then German Empire got broken up. And new countries came into existence that I have told you again. Czechoslovakia, it is again broken into two countries, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Estonia, Latvia, Finland. These different countries came into existence. Now, apart from this, because the victory powers felt that because of Germany, the World War I started, and because of Germany, all the losses have happened, they have imposed a heavy penalty on Germany. So what is that? They have to pay war indemnity. What is war indemnity? Indemnity is a type of compensation. Compensation in terms of territories. After the World War, Britain, France, Russia. So now what they have to do is they have to return those territories back. I hope you're all clear with Treaty of Versailles. Okay, the next one that we are going to learn is called the League of Nations. What is it called? The League of Nations. League of Nations. Another simple but important concept. League of Nations is a type of organization very similar to what we have now called UNO. In today's world, you might have been listening to news where they are talking too much about World Health Organization, right? Coronavirus. World Health Organization is giving out numbers as to which country, how many people are dying and how many are surviving, right? So World Health Organization is a part of a bigger organization called United Nations Organization, which is there now. Before, at the end of World War, the same type of organization existed at the time. At that time, it was called as League of Nations. What is it? League of Nations. League of Nations was the first ever international organization. It was formed after the World War One. Now, what is the reason for League of Nations? League of Nations was established for certain reasons. First is to prevent wars. What is the first reason? The first reason is to prevent the wars. There should be no more wars. And there is also another reason. The second reason is to settle disputes through negotiations. For example, let's say if two or more countries are having some problems, what should they do? They should try to talk to each other and then settle down all their disputes. No wars, no physical usage of weapons, arms, and defense systems. Only by the way of talking or negotiating, they have to make sure that war is disrupted. Now, whose role is this? League of Nations should make sure that there are no wars and they should settle all the problems with negotiations. And they should also try to reduce the manufacturing of arms. They should also try to reduce manufacturing of new arms. Arms are weapons. So less weapons, no wars, and settle the problems with negotiations. These are the aims. These were the aims of League of Nations. And it also saw to the work of development in terms of labor and health. It should also take care of the world's development, right? So they also had two important things in their list. One is to take care of world's health and should also take care of the labor. They wanted to frame good labor laws so that everyone who works should be able to make those money without any problem. You might have seen in Russian Revolution how the laborers have gone against their employers. In ninth class, you have read about French Revolution. In England, you have seen bloodless revolution. Why did all those things happen? Because laborers were facing problems with their manufacturers, with their owners. So to prevent such problems, League of Nations also made sure that these things are there in their list so that they can look for the welfare of the people in terms of labor and health. But at the time, 58 countries were members of this League of Nations. Though it is a great organization at the time, it failed because Second World War happened in 1939. So League of Nations started in 1920, just after Treaty of Versailles, but it failed because World War II started in 1939. However, this was the first world organization uh, which helped in reducing wars. It was able to prevent wars for some time, but in 1939, another major world war broke out. So for now, you have seen the Treaty of Versailles, and then you have also seen the League of Nations, and you have also understood the immediate cause of World War One. Okay. So I have few questions to be asked, which I'll be sending you through the WhatsApp. I also have a small worksheet for you. I'll be sending you in the WhatsApp groups. Please make sure you complete that and send it back. If you have any doubts, please send the questions through WhatsApp. Okay. Thank you. Sir, Naidu sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Sir, yes, sir.
Sir, class అయిపోయింది సార్.
Ah,
అయిపోయింది సార్ క్లాస్.
okay, okay, okay.
ఓకే.
Meeting in